Welcome to the first week and lesson of Managing the Academic Enterprise. After completing the lessons this week, you will be able to discuss the need for a data-informed approach using actionable metrics to optimize academic operations at your institution. You will also reflect on the ways your institution has defined student success and the impact of that definition on planning and action. Let's begin by acknowledging the challenges of the current moment in higher education. Wicked problems as defined here are plenty at this moment. Academic leaders are charged with managing the academic enterprise to ensure a transformational educational experience for all students with finite and often declining resources. Stakeholders will define transformation from their individual perspectives, leaving leaders with the task of reconciling those viewpoints, often to the dissatisfaction of any one stakeholder who can so easily critique higher education. Perhaps the best people and able to comment on how well an institution is doing, at least as measured against the criteria they set for their institutions, is the academic leaders themselves. So, how is higher ed doing? We pulled out 3 interesting statistics from the 2020 Inside Higher Ed survey of chief academic officers. On a 5-point scale of failing, poor, fair, good, or excellent, only 58% of the respondents rated the academic health of their institution as good. Academic health is defined as the academic quality of the education that the institution provides. Diving further into the survey, respondents were asked how effective they are at using data to inform their decisions. On a 4-point scale of not effective at all, not too effective, somewhat effective, and very effective, only 61% responded that they are somewhat effective at using data. On the subject of controlling the rising costs to students and families, only 52% rate their institutions as somewhat effective. To control costs, many academic leaders are starting to explore reducing their academic program array, which itself could be considered a wicked problem. You can see how the survey question was worded and the results on this slide, indicating how strong to weight the variable of the number of students majoring in an academic program when considering some sort of department or major reduction is not widely agreed upon, another hallmark of a wicked problem. There is perhaps agreement that there is a finite amount of resources to realize the mission of the institution, and for most institutions, the majority of those resources are dedicated to instruction. To effectively manage those resources, it is helpful to focus on the variables under direct control of the institution that impact how resources are allocated. Those variables are the curriculum, which gets translated and implemented in the pathway or the course sequence, which then moves on for implementation in the course schedule. All 3 of these variables are not only integral for academic quality and necessary for student learning, but also significantly impact effective use of resources. An overly complex, extensive, or broad program curriculum can lead to a confusing pathway with too many choices, which can then lead to low-enrolled courses in the course schedule. Once we get to implementation of the curriculum and the course schedule, there are additional variables impacting student outcome and effective use of resources. Those variables include the time courses are offered and how well those time blocks are implemented consistently across the institution, the space allocated to instruction, faculty instructor assignments, and the student access to those courses. While a company dealing with a wicked problem has to experiment with many strategies, it must stay true to its purpose, according to John Camillus, the author of Strategy as a Wicked Problem, which appeared in the Harvard Business Review in 2008. This suggestion is in line with Simon Sinek's work on knowing your why. Too often, it is attempting to dive into solutions to a problem, losing sight of why we are attempting to solve the problem in the first place, or without fully understanding the problem itself. Institutions must be clear about their why and the students they serve. A mission may have unintentionally drifted over the years, or in other cases, it may be time to make a shift in mission to better serve students and the surrounding community. Starting with why is the only way that we can ensure that the process or the how of organizing and implementing the curriculum through the course schedule, which is the what, is aligned to the mission, the why. Once clear in their why, institutions must then grapple with strategies to address the wicked problems at hand. As outlined earlier, since most of an institution's resources are dedicated to instruction and academic operations, a primary focus should be on sustainable and responsible oversight of the academic enterprise. The graphic you see here represents Ad Astra's comprehensive, integrated, and data-informed approach to help institutions achieve optimal academic health. Student success, as defined by your why, is at the center. The rest of the course will explore each element of this planning framework. We will begin by defining student success in Lesson 2.